slightly smiling when he was giving his answer, because it was such a refined answer and such an amazing plan that it allowed the 11th canto as Krishna's instructions to Uddhava. Krishna had already been to Mathura and then Dwarka. Of course, after Jarasandha attacked Mathura, special abode in the middle of the ocean, Krishna wanted to protect all his devotees from the attacks of these horrendous demons who were harassing him and his devotees. And then in Dwarka, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard the message, he smiled slightly and says, the Acharya has instructed me. And Sarup Damodar could understand the place to which he repaired after receiving that message and had gone to Jagannath Puri. Kaviraj Goswami says his pastimes then became mad performances. And when the demigods headed by Brahma came to Dwarka, they similarly informed Krishna that it was okay to wind up his pastimes. And when Uddhava saw the comings and goings of the demigods and the talks he was having with them, he surmised that it was because Krishna was planning on winding up his pastimes. And there was a great need for people, the great desire for people to know what was Krishna doing. In fact, we find at Kurukshetra, the sages beseeching Sutta Goswami to explain, why did Krishna come? How did he display his pastimes as the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Who are the various avatars? They wanted to know all this. Before internet also in ISKCON, there's, I guess that's called go to Badarika to teach the sages there about Krishna's pastimes in the world, and especially about the mysteries of his disappearance, which was about to take place. There's a history of Krishna's disappearing and his meeting Uddhava at Prabhas, which when Brahma had come to Krishna in Dwarka, he had expressed concern about after Krishna leaving. Krishna wanted to take away the powerful yadus, and therefore he arranged for them to come to Prabhas so they could annihilate one another. And after Uddhava left for Badarikashram from Dwarka, he had information that Krishna had gone, and he made a U-turn, although his service was to go a relative way, considering his leaving the world. The small banyan tree, says Srila Prabhupada in his purport, indicates that we're in the spiritually need only find the source of information coming from Krishna through Guru Parampara, and then lean in and listen very carefully. The human apparatus is especially designed to listen to topics of God. And if one's very seriously interested in hearing about Krishna, and one leans in to hear at every opportunity, then one's advancement comes naturally. During that discussion, Maitreya, great sage, gets some, what is Bhaktivinoda Thakur calls Bhakti Unmukhi Sukriti, or special interest in hearing about Krishna, and then Krishna makes an arrangement for us to hear in the right company so that we can be perfectly aligned. Our Bhakti Lata becomes nourished in an appropriate way so we can make advancement in devotional service. Brahmanda Brahmate Kon Bhagyavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasadi Bhai Bhakti Lata Beach. And there at Prabhas, Krishna gives Uddhava further instructions that Maitreya listens to, and then finally Uddhava makes his trek towards Badarika, but not before he stops in Vrindavan. And then you'll find in the third canto when he meets Vidura, or Vidura meets him, right here in Vrindavan. And there, Vidura, eager to find out about the secrets that Krishna had imparted to him and to hear about the process of devotional service, begs Uddhava to instruct him of Vidura, and therefore, and what's more, Maitreya had just directly heard from Krishna along with Uddhava, so Uddhava deferred to Maitreya and said, you should hear from him. Places that devotees come to pray, to be situated in understanding the preeminent situation of the residents. Srila Rupa Goswami has given us the Upadesh Amrita, the nectar of instruction. And there he gives us the progressive path. And it just happens to start with the words Vacho Vegam, and then Manasakroda Vegam, Jihva Vegam, Udarapastra Vegam, Itan Vegam, Yo Vishaheti Tira, Sarvamapimam Pritipim Nasishyat. He says if you want to start the process of devotional service, you must begin with your tongue. And this is the path that Rupa Goswami recommends. We start by using our tongue in service to Krishna. And in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna and the admonition of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was Kirtaniya Sadahare. Very humbly go on chanting the holy names of Krishna. Use your tongue in service. It's a service to chant Hare Krishna. And if one can control the tongue, says the Srimad Bhagavatam, actually Krishna says this to Uddhava in the 11th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, it's known that if you can control your tongue, then all the other senses are controlled. And it's conversely known that if you can't control your tongue, then all the other senses are out of control. It's the gateway sense. If you can control your tongue by restraining your speech to Krishna Katha or business about Krishna and chanting Hare Krishna prescribed number of times, then all the other senses will come in